Maybe you want banga, baba. Oh, baba. You can never stop on spinal, baba. Never stop on baba. I get you more, say, baba. I'm a timo, go to Jalaye, baba. Oh, yeah, wait for the moolah, baba. I say, wait for the baba. Oh, yeah, let me see what. Come, let's calculate, baba. How much you get, how much you pay, baba. I want to live for what you need, baba. I want to live for what you need, baba. That me be intellectual, baba. That me they give them actual, baba. I'm a lecturer, baba. I'm a lecturer, my nigga, baba.
Hello, what's it on now?
Check it, Elisa.
20 million, buddy.
That is a.
Hello, go back to what?
Thank you once again for joining us on the program. My name is Rose Peter Graham. It is 2019 elections. The presidential election is about 2 weeks away from today. And of course, there's been a lot of campaign, a lot of people talking about this election. And of course, we do know it is another opportunity for us to make a decision. Democracy, that is what it affords us. Every 4 years, we have the opportunity to make a decision of how we want our lives to be in the next 4 years. Today, we have a special guest with us. He is the global chairman for the Buhari Diaspora Support Organization. Is Mr. Charles F. Sylvester Emukwate. Is with me in the studio. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Rose.
It's good to have you. As the global chairman for the Buhari Diaspora Support Organization, what have you people been doing?
Thank you, Rose. What we've been doing is to mobilize Nigerians in the diaspora and even Nigerians at home. The strategy is one, to mobilize Nigerians in the diaspora, to inform their family, to ring and inform their families back home that the best candidate at these elections is President Muhammadu Buhari. Also, to encourage diasporans then, because the registration exercise is over, to encourage diasporans to go home to Nigeria to register and vote for President Muhammadu Buhari. So we've established structures in America, in Europe, in Africa, and in Asia to mobilize this global support for President Muhammadu Buhari come 2019.
How often do you go to Nigeria?
I go to Nigeria almost every month.
Every month?
Almost every month, or at least once in 60 days.
Do you have your PVC?
I have my PVC.
You're going to be around for the presidential?
Definitely, definitely. I was in during the 2015 elections, supported Buhari. I'm going back again 2019.
Where did you register, Lagos or in Delta State?
I registered in Abuja.
In Abuja?
Yes.
Okay, so that's good. But why should we give President Muhammadu Buhari? Yes, I could see that. I didn't know Uche had that. That's good.
Yeah. We do the talk and we walk.
Yes, it's good.
We walk it as well.
You have a PVC. I don't have one.
Okay.
I never went for registration. I wish I did, but you know, the little effort we could make to telling people to vote,
yeah, that's good.
We would. So that's good. So, but tell me, why should Nigeria give Muhammadu Buhari another 4 years?
One, integrity. We need a leader that's got integrity. He's got integrity. We need an incorruptible leader that will fight the forces of corruption, because one of the bane of Nigerian development is corruption. people have connived, colluded to loot the common treasury of the Nigerian people. And we believe that Muhammadu Buhari will be the one to stop that circle of corruption and also to establish integrity in the Nigerian government. Another reason is that when you look at the candidates involved, we believe that Muhammadu Buhari is the best candidate for these elections. If you look at the little that he's done in 3 years, given minimal resources,
yes.
Oil prices were like about a third of what they were before, and yet President Buhari has been able to orchestrate a lot of infrastructural development, agricultural development. If you look at education, the feeding program, all these I will explain as the program goes on. But the major thing is that he is the man to lead us to the greatness that we desire and deserve.
Okay, so you're telling us now that President Muhammadu Buhari is able to do much more with very little.
Correct. He is able to do that.
How much again is a barrel of oil?
Now it's under 50.
Under 50. So during Jonathan's time, it
was about 150.
150, 140.
Correct.
And then we didn't, just like the Minister for Finance said, we didn't have the will to save, or he didn't have, the former president didn't have the capacity to save. And that was why there was that waste.
One thing, having the will to save is one thing.
Yes.
Having the will to save nothing is another thing, when it's been looted.
But he did save. Was it not the Governor's Council that asked for the money to be utilized? Let me use the word utilized to play safe.
He didn't save nothing. Because remember, when President Buhari, when he came to London, when we saw him in April, he said he called the central bank governor and said, look, how much is in the treasury? And the central bank governor told him that the treasury was empty. So you could see that from the cases that have been going on, they've been siphoning these funds either through the Minister of Petroleum Resources. Of course, you know the cases against her and other politicians that have been taking this money. Some have been putting them in, I don't know what they call them, sockaway here. In America, they call them shitholes. And, you know, people saving money, put them in places that they shouldn't be. And some funds are being recovered.
But you know, I think President Muhammadu Buhari, on 3 agendas, he promised to secure the country, to fight corruption, and build the economy.
True.
These were the 3 major premises that he swore when he was coming in that he was going to deal with.
True.
So in the aspect of corruption, how many people do we have behind bars now? Because we haven't heard anything about the former petroleum minister. And maybe all those other persons who allegedly stole from the treasury.
You will recollect that two former governors have been jailed.
That year was in Obasanjo's government.
Yes, but at the same time, that is why we're going to come to the judiciary.
Yes.
There's a problem this government has. The judiciary is a problem.
Okay.
Some of them, they're a problem because you see some of these cases. You see, the EFCC chairman had to cry out. A lot of people, yes, are being jailed and prosecuted by the EFCC, but he had to cry out that, look, could you imagine that in a case where they are pursuing a former government official for looted funds, that their own lawyers will bring a bill. For example, the guy has been found to have looted hundreds of millions of naira. His lawyer will bring a bill that his own legal fees are hundreds of millions of naira.
To who?
To the lawyer. That's what Magu said. So their own lawyers, they now connive. You know, corruption is a very dangerous, devilish thing. They connive with their own lawyers to say that is the bill so that they go behind that and then share the funds. And I think the government is trying to block that loophole. That is one. And also, if you look at the judicial system, there are delays. They keep postponing cases that are in court, one for reasons that are you could say are nonsensical.
Okay. I actually thought, was that the reason? Because there have been diverse opinion about the president's suspension of the CJN, Onoge.
Okay.
Onogene.
Yeah.
So a lot of people have come up with different opinions about it. I took my time and I thought about it. I was like, is it because of the role the judiciary had been playing, whereby, of course, cases are delayed or justice denied, and Mr. President feels that he just wants to pick them up? But, you know, the protest against him now, is that the reason he's doing that? That cases are delayed, and is that another route he feels he wants to fight corruption through, by taking out those he feels are being the clogs in his way of getting corrupt officials jailed?
The president has said that he was going to cleanse the judiciary. That has been said long before Onoge's case. If you remember, when some judges were arrested several months ago, the president did say that, look, they would like to cleanse the system, but they should follow the proper investigation and all that. Onoge's case is a case that when he failed, you have the declaration of assets as a public official. When he filled that declaration of asset forms, he failed to declare all his assets, major assets. So by his own admission, he said he forgot to declare the several houses he had, and he failed to declare the 3 bank accounts where millions of dollars and current transactions have been going on.
But he is not the only one who is guilty of this, is he? And then why did the president not allow, again, justice to take its course? Because there's a committee, or they judges do have their own organization who could have dealt with the matter.
Okay.
So why did the president feel he needed to suspend him? Because in the Constitution, it is said that his own peers, or those the
Nigerian Judicial Council
could have dealt with his matter.
Okay, let me explain this to you. One, Justice Onoge, when he admitted, there's a written admission that he forgot to declare his assets, which of course is wrong under the Code of Conduct of Public Officers, and the tribunal took that. Let me address the issues. He made that clear. Now, Justice Onoge or the former Justice Onoge, was the head of the Nigerian Judicial Council. 80% or 90% of the appointees of the Nigerian Judicial Council were made by the Chief Justice of the country. He cannot be a judge in his own case. What he could have done was to step aside. Not if he shouldn't have even come to where the president had to intervene. The president had to intervene, one, because the CCT, the Code of Conduct Tribunal, whom Justice Onoge, I repeat, in the case of Metu, federal government versus Metu, in the case of federal government versus Saraki, he himself supported the judgment that only the Code of Conduct Tribunal can try government officials. Now that it has come to his turn, is he above the law? So the president had to act quickly in order to safeguard the integrity of the judiciary and the Nigerian state. One, the CCT had given a directive to the president to appoint an acting chief judge while the case is being determined. The president did not remove and has not removed Onoge. He only suspended him. People maliciously twist the fact as if he was removed. He wasn't removed. You cannot be a judge. The president said, look, you cannot be a judge in your own case. Step aside. Let the judgment continue at the CCT. But what he was doing, he was trying to go to other courts to thwart justice as a justice, and that is not acceptable, even in this country. So
what's your take when the opposition or maybe certain concerned Nigerians say that whenever the president removes someone or someone resigns in a sensitive position, they're immediately filled with someone from the north.
I think that is where you see all this. I am a Southerner. I'm a Christian Southerner. And the president appointed me onto the board of Nigerian Port Authority. And you also have many Southerners that have been appointed into positions. I was discussing this with some people the other day. And also if you look at, even if you want to look at the geographical spread, the population in the north is more than the population in other places. Yeah, we have 6 geopolitical zones. If you check this geopolitical zone and if you add the population in the north is more than. So definitely if you have to look at the law of justice and equity in the allocation of people into positions, you will have that because they have the populations anyway. But what the president is doing is appointing those that he believes can perform those duties.
And it's only those who speak his language?
That's why I've told you that population.
Sorry, is native language?
No, he's Fulani. All of them are not Fulanis. That's one of the misconceptions.
Hausa or Fulani.
You see, one thing is that even in the middle belt, they speak Hausa. Do you know the middle belters? They speak Hausa. So people just assume once it's a Hausa name that, okay, fine, is a Fulani person. That's not what happens.
So he's comfortable with only the people from the north to be in sensitive positions, like maybe as the Minister for Finance, the head of securities for the police, the army, the SSS, EFCC, INEC. These are sensitive institutions of the judiciary in the country, and it's only those who speak his language that should be there because he feels he can trust them. And then during election, if he needs the votes, he can come to the South and seek for votes from the Southerners. But at the end of the day, for sensitive appointments, it's only those who he can trust.
No, the central bank governor, for example, Godwin Emefiele, is not a Hausa person.
He's still there.
He's there. He's not Hausa.
No. I'm wondering why he's still there. Because you notice when this new government came into office, he quickly went to pay allegiance. And of course, his photograph where he was practically bowing to the handlers of Mr. President.
Oh, that has not been substantiated.
On
social media, you have a lot of fake news, but let me tell you this.
No, but these were pictures. We can have it Googled and put it on air now.
Let me tell you, if President Buhari is a tribalized Nigerian, I have watched the Nigerian political space. Most of the northern presidents, they always have their Minister of Finance to be a northerner and the central bank governor to be a northerner. The central bank governor is not from the north, and the former minister, don't forget, Kemi Adeosun, was not a northerner.
And when she resigned, a northerner was put.
But that was the acting minister because she came from the Ministry of Trade and Industry. That was the closest ministry to that in that aspect because she was acting. You understand? Now, if you check the Chief of Defense Staff, Olorun Shaki, is not a northerner. He's not a Hausa man. And that is the Chief of Defense Staff that controls all the other forces. The Chief of Army Staff, the Chief of Naval Staff, the Chief of Air Staff, they are all...
Chief of Army Staff?
Yeah, the Chief of Army Staff, the Chief of Naval Staff, the Chief of Air Staff, they are under the Chief of Defense Staff, who himself is a Southerner. So now, and then if you look at other parastatals, by the time the list comes, yes, you could see that, yes, there are more, like I've said, the population thing is there, you can't take that away, but at the same time, he tries to balance it up.
Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has been raising a number of concerns about President Muhammadu Buhari. He's obviously not in support of him. It seems he's supporting his former vice president.
Yeah, that is it. You see that President Obasanjo, with due respect, I respect people, but then he has lost that respect. by, his letter writing rascality has to be put to check, either by himself or by others. Yes, the same. I'm serious. The guy is just writing letters that doesn't really make sense because he's got his own ulterior selfish interests to propagate. I'll tell you why. He was the one that he was the one that funded and tried to perpetuate third term. And yet, he's writing letters to Buhari. He is the same person that had impeached a governor, and yet he's writing letters. He's the same person that has awarded a lot of contracts and oil wells to people. He feels threatened. And also, don't forget about electricity. He spent billions of dollars to try and get us electricity, but he only got us darkness.
He was sorry about the letter.
Sorry about the letter?
Oh, no, about the former. The last
the
one you just mentioned. He spent 16 billion trying to get electricity, but at the end of the day...
exactly, so that why not respect yourself? You spend $15 billion of my commonwealth, of your commonwealth. You know how much $1 billion can do for a country. That guy should be in jail. And he says sorry for $16 billion. I don't believe this.
Why is it that most of these presidents who have mismanaged the wealth in Nigeria are still collecting benefits? Every 2-3 years, their entourage, their vehicles are changed. They've got house. They are paying for their medical bills and everything. But these people have been responsible for the poor situation of the country.
True.
So what is happening if President Muhammadu Buhari realizes that the government says to us that he met an empty treasury, oil was sold for over $140 per barrel, then why aren't you holding anyone responsible? Why should it just be Dasuki?
Now you see, that's why you see people, the president is not selective in his war against corruption. Not selective, non-selective, not selective. Dasuki, do you know Dasuki is the president-in-law? Not distant, he is the president-in-law. Dasuki is closer to Buhari than you, me, or anybody because he's his in-law. So if he's done wrong, he feels that justice should be served.
But he shouldn't be the one. What about what is happening with the issue of Desiani?
Desiani's case is being handled by the Minister for Justice. They're trying to have her repatriated to go and answer. That case is still going on, and they've made some missions. Hopefully, she should be repatriated soon. But she's also got money laundering case in the UK. And you know how the UK government operate. They will make sure she serves the justice here. They will punish her for those crimes here before they now release her to the Nigerian government for trial in Nigeria for crimes committed in Nigeria.
Okay. Let's see how that turns out.
Yeah, hopefully let's get some billions back,
Definitely,
she knows where some of those
money comes back, are they properly invested? We're talking about over $300 million, the Abacha loots?
Yes.
And how was this spent?
Some of the Abacha money that were sent to the states. They were sent to the states, and they've used them to bail. Some of them were used to bail out the states. Remember, before Jonathan left, some of the states were owing 12 months, 9 months arrears in salaries. So that was used to bail out some of the states, while some were used.
Let us talk about this trader money. Did I hear that some of it was used for the trader money? And the opposition have said that this money is in votes buying in disguise.
Oh, don't mind them. Those guys will always say anything. Can you imagine how sad it is that you're trying to help the poor, the poorest of the poor, the people that they've looted billions of dollars from? This government is trying to help the poor, and they're standing right in the face of the government and say you shouldn't help the poor trader. The poor trader's son is hawking. Her daughter is hawking around the street of Nigeria, and yet they just say, let them give them 50,000, whatever, to help them. And yet people stand up. Is that not man's inhumanity
10,000 naira, it's good. It's okay. But what would 10,000 naira get the average Nigerian? She can't rent a shop. Then a lot of hawkers will be produced in the streets.
No, that's not the way it works. You know, one thing with money, you have to be careful. Because there are millions of them in Nigeria. We cannot give everybody, the government cannot give everybody a million, whatever. And also you have to look, you need to start them from somewhere. Psychologically, if you give them a million, some of them are going to go mental. They've never seen even 50,000 or 100 cash. So they've got to start from somewhere.
The government knows that. Because you see, the federal government as it is, the budget that they spend runs into billions of dollars. The hospital, buying computers, running the federal government as an institution runs into billions of dollars. And then there's the average Nigerian, just like you said, who has not even seen 20,000 naira. Is giving them 10,000 each. Is that the issue? Or let's talk about the minimum wage, whereby it's just 18,000 naira. And then government officials who have permanent suites at the Nikon Hilton in Abuja, they, in a sitting, they spend 18,000 for lunch, for dinner. Why do we have that gap between those who govern and those who are governed?
That is it. Now you're talking. That is where Buhari comes in. He's only spent 3 years. He's trying to narrow the gap. Don't forget that the opposition were there for 16 years. You cannot undo the crime against this country, the looting, the vicious looting that I say even the devil will reject some Nigerians in hell, that they are too wicked. Yes, the devil is going to reject some people. We're going to have surprises after this world, man. Because they are too wicked. Even what the people had, they went and they took it from the people. The devil gives and later comes, at least he gives. But these people even loot from the people and subject them to inhumanity and wickedness. No, that is why Buhari said not anymore. Now you're talking about the presidents that used to be giving money. Do you know of all the presidents that was given? Buhari was one of those that even while he was in opposition, he was returning some of the money back to the government and said, look, what you have given me is too much. He's been a minister of petroleum. He's been president, head of state. He's been GOC. He's been governor. If you go and see, he's staying in a bungalow, still staying in a bungalow in Daura, and has a bungalow in Kaduna. That is the only asset this man has. That is why in the north, he is a phenomenon. You wonder why people want to die for this man, why people come out for this man and sacrifice their resources, because they know that he is somebody that they can trust. He's somebody that they can depend on, that fights for the rights of the common man. That is why he is here to bridge the gap. The 16 years gap cannot be done in 3 years. And that is why we need to give him 4 more years. In addition to the first term, give him a second term so that he can, even if he doesn't solve the problem, so that he can lay the foundations for a better and greater Nigeria.
Okay. Let's talk about the infrastructure that this government embarked on. Apart from completing the one for the previous government, railroads, the expressway, the second Niger bridge, how well are they doing?
Oh, they're doing well. Like the Abuja-Kaduna rail is running. I took a ride. It was good. Yes, one thing is that, you see what...
I like that you're really true Nigerian and not like many of us who are here just talking. I mean, we need to take a ride. We need to go home and see these things. But I must tell you, I see those trains. They are like locomotive engines. They all look locomotive. It's not as if... I don't expect them to be like the Jubilee line or maybe the Victoria line, but something I mean, it should be better if we're spending a lot of money, and
Okay.
and this is the jet age. Why are we saying we're going to do this and then we're using trains of yesteryears?
No, I think you saw the advert we put for the group. I don't. Those are not locomotive. Let nobody tell you. At least they are okay trains. You know.
But the whole
Let me
world
just
have
tell
got
you
bullet
that- Yeah, if
trains.
you want to go for
because
you want to go for the high speed train, that's a different level. You have to look at your resources. You have to prioritize your resources. You cannot overspend and not complete the project. At least let you complete the projects that are there so that people can use them. The past government promised Nigerians. You see, this rail also, there's another corruption that needs to be checked. Do you know the government of Jonathan spent hundreds of millions of dollars importing trains? Those trains are dead. They're not even working. Nothing is there. You remember, you check in the news, it was there, that they said an African country spent a third of that amount and they've got good trains running. And yet
Yes.
we remember that case?
Yeah,
But
I
look
do.
at it. Where are those ones? No way. The tracks are not there, the trains are not there. It's all the circle of embezzlement and lottery that we must not allow the PDP. If you love Nigeria, you must not allow the PDP back into government. At least this government is trying. The man is not perfect. I am not perfect. You are not perfect. Nobody is a better Nigerian than me and you or anybody else. We are all equal. We are equal stakeholders. Let us give him the opportunity. Like him or hate him. At this point in Nigerian's history, he's the best alternative that we have to this looting, circle of vicious looting. Now this train, they said, okay, the other government did not even do anything. So the little resources we have, let us complete the projects that even they are the ones, if they are the ones that mapped it out, it doesn't mean that I must come and say, no, I don't want the train plan that they have put in place, that cancel the plan and go and start another plan. He said, President Buhari said he doesn't want abandoned projects. Even if they are the one that did the plan and they've embezzled that money, forget about that. Let us stick to the plan for national development, which is infrastructural development. That was how you had the Kaduna one running. And also you have there's one that is going to run from Lagos-Ibadan, Kano. The Lagos-Ibadan stretch is 80% completed. Then they're going to extend to Kano so that people now can be moving to Kano. I am a member of the Nigerian Port Authority on the board. We want to extend the Lagos one into the ports so that people can move their goods along that axis to Kano.
I mean, that's a long time coming because this should have been done. It would have avoided the debts on the Lagos. That's the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, or
True.
going to Benin, or
True.
all those trailers falling off. I mean, quite a number of lives have been wasted.
I agree with you. But
you see, we are looking forward to a government who would hold people responsible. Because here we even have members of the parliament. I mean, there's a recent one who was jailed for a crime she committed.
Exactly, that's what we're saying.
So
That's why.
can't we get to that level? Can we get to the level whereby the legislators will stop being paid millions every month, whereas there are a lot of Nigerians out there who cannot even afford a meal? So what about housing? What about health? What is President Muhammadu Buhari doing about this? Because before he came in, he talked about that, and then at the end of the day, he wasn't feeling well, and he came to spend almost 3 months outside Nigeria. We do understand the challenges he would be going through as an elderly person, but he should walk his talk.
Now, if you talk about what the president is doing, health, if you look at the national immunization program, they've done a lot. A lot of people have been immunized. And they're still working on them, because a lot of, like I said, the issue is...
Mr. Charles, you know why I'm happy I'm having this interview with you is because from what you've been saying to me, it shows that you have a good knowledge of this administration and that you are in and a part of it. If you have a moment with them, you could talk to him about the housing scheme, like the Jakonde housing that we had in the past. Or like we do have here for social services. That could help a lot of Nigerians.
Yeah, the Federal Mortgage Bank has got some housing schemes going on.
And it will not be given to friends and families.
No, he's not the type that will give to friends and family, like Atiku said he's going to make his friends rich.
Was he not joking when he said that?
What kind of joke? What kind of joke? He's been caught and he's saying it's a joke. The guy meant it. He said, can't I make my friends rich? And people say, yeah, hello. And
you know what? I think he shot himself in the foot.
Exactly.
Wait.
It's God. God is making that guy to confess, man. He's letting us know.
That was a wrong statement. Politically, it was a wrong statement.
It was God. God was exposing
obviously
him.
Joking, just like the president also said that.
Rose, my sister.
Yes.
God, you see, sometimes God speaks and works in mysterious ways. You know that the bane of Nigerian system or society is corruption.
But he is not the only one enriching.
No, let's settle his statement. We are coming to that. You know that is the bane of. Then he went ahead to say, 3 weeks before that.
I think we have a clip. Let's play that clip. Uche, if you have that clip, let's play it, please. Where he said he was going to enrich his friends. In the interview, the candidate, he said he gave a very fine definition of corruption, where he said that when you use your privileged position to enrich your families and your friends. And then I have been seeing the videos on WhatsApp, which then immediately played back where he said he was going to enrich his friend. I think he was joking, but that was a political murder. But not yet. We do not know what's going to happen February 16th, but it shouldn't have made that statement. Just like when Mr. President was standing beside a woman leader, a world-renowned leader, and then he said his wife's business is in the other room. So he's just like...
No,
he was just joking.
Yeah,
I'm not making a case for him, but
you cannot compare that joke with that of this corruption thing, especially when the guy has got a stigma, fighting a stigma of corruption.
I had Buba Galadima in this studio. He was sitting right there, and he said to us that President Muhammadu Buhari's is enriching his families and friends, that those people usually beg for 2,000 naira to get into a bus for transport fare from Kaduna to Abuja are now billionaires. The GRA in Daura looking like, how did he put it, Dubai, that all of this belongs to Buhari's friends and families. So indirectly he's also enriching
That
them.
is fake news. Buba Galadima is just an attention seeker. Who is telling you family and friends? Why didn't he mention names specifically? People just spread fake news and then they make wild assumptions. And so that because they know that one thing they cannot tie to Mr. President to is corruption. Remember in this country, when David Cameron said Nigerians are fantastically corrupt.
Yes.
Who defended Nigeria? It was the Archbishop around Canterbury that said, I know this president. This man is not corrupt. So they know that on corruption, they cannot fight him. They cannot stand him, either in Nigeria or outside Nigeria.
The Archbishop of Canterbury has been a long-time friend of President Muhammadu Buhari.
Who knows his character and personality. And who in this society, his word is seen as credible. The Archbishop of Canterbury, and true in most cases.
Okay, so you are the chairman of the Nigerian Security Officers Association here in the UK.
Yes, I am. Nigerian Security Officers
Okay, so the spokesperson of the PDP, Mr. Kola Ologbodiyan, he said in the press conference today that there must be investigation to uncover why some aliens from the JP Republic came to grace the political events held in Kano State. I want you to respond to this, but we'll have to go on break first. And when we come back, this discussion will continue.
Shabby, you want banga, baba. Oh, well, go then, baba. You can never stop on spinal, baba. Never stop on baba. I get you more, to say, baba. I'm a timo, go to shalaye, baba. Oh, yeah, wait for the moolah, baba. That's the win for the baba. Oh, yeah, let me see what. Come, let's calculate, Baba. How much you get, how much you pay, Baba. I want a need for what you need, Baba. I want a need for what you need, Baba. That may be intellectual, Baba. That may they give them actual, Baba. I'm a Baba lecturer, Baba. Baba lecturer, my nigga, Baba.
Hello, what's on?
Get to the listen.
20 million, buddy.
That is that.
Hello, come on, to what?
Baba. Shabby, you want banga, baba. Oh, well, go then, baba. You can never stop on spinal, baba. Never stop on baba. I get you more, to say, baba. I'm a timo, go to shalaye, baba. Oh, yeah, wait for the moolah, baba. That's the win for the baba. Oh, yeah, let me see what. Come, let's calculate, Baba. How much you get, how much you pay, Baba. I want a need for what you need, Baba. I want a need for what you need, Baba. That may be intellectual, Baba. That may they give them actual, Baba. I'm a Baba lecturer, Baba. Baba lecturer, my nigga, Baba.
Hello, what's on?
Get to the listen.
20 million, buddy.
That is that.
Hello, come on, to what?
Baba. Shabby, you want banga, baba.
Once he commits to a project, that project will come to light. That is one thing with President Buhari. Look at the rail, for example. We remember before the Jonathan government finished, finished their tenure, we were told they paid billions of naira or dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars to buy rail. Where are the trains? Nothing was running when this government came in. You remember that story? That even some people were saying that the trains were second-hand trains, and that there was one country in Africa or somewhere that bought brand new trains for a third of that price. I remember that story. You can Google it; it's all there. But now trains are running from, even you that live in Abuja, from Abuja to Kaduna straight. People are going and coming. He's the one that has recovered hundreds of billions, if not trillions of naira back to the treasury. The TSA is credit to him. Yes, it wasn't initiated by him, but it was implemented by him.
Okay, so that's Mr. Charles F.A. Sylvester Emukwate, campaigning in Nigeria, I believe. He's the global chairman for Buhari Diaspora Support Organization. He's here with me, and we've been having this heated discussion why Nigerians should consider President Muhammadu Buhari for the next 4 years. I know our viewers, you would love to make contribution. I don't know if we have time for that, but there's just so much to talk about, because we are not expecting magic to happen just like that, but we just want to see what the president is doing, and at the same time him cushioning the effects as he's working. Let Nigerians not feel, you know, the backlash of it, because now people, I mean, it's not now, like 3 years ago, people have been complaining about prices of foodstuffs skyrocketing.
Yeah, you see, one thing is, I was telling somebody, I said, look, if somebody is all healthy and all robust, suddenly the person goes for an operation. You don't expect the person to start walking immediately. Nigeria has undergone operation. President Buhari is the doctor. He's undertaking an operation on Nigeria, trying to root out corruption, trying to restore this Nigeria, our Nigeria, to the greatness that we desire and deserve. There will be pains. I will not lie to you that there are no pains. My family in Nigeria, yes, they are complaining, but they have hope. That there is hope that the future will be better. That is why, you see, like I said, the PDP government in the past 16 years has destroyed the fabric of our country. Look at Dubai. If the money, the resources that they had in 16 years was used to develop that country, it would have, even if we are half as Dubai is, then we would have been grateful. Even if they are given only light and infrastructural development. Yeah, so it takes time. It will take time for Nigeria to recover. People will feel some sort of pain.
Okay.
But hopefully things will get better.
Before we went on break, I talked about Mr. Kola Ologbondiyan of the PDP when he gave a press conference, talking about a number of persons coming in through the border. As a security expert also, what do you have to say? That our borders are porous.
No. I think they don't mind him. You know, the PDP, any little thing they try to manipulate and exaggerate the facts. You see, President Buhari and those that are close to him in those states know what they are doing. These people that came, that attended the Kano rally, wasn't it? Is that not what he's talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them that came, they are not illegal immigrants. They came normally. This is an official function which they came. They are not coming to vote. They are coming to show solidarity. You know why? The head of the Niger Basin's President Association or Union is Buhari. Buhari has been traveling to the Niger, to the states in the Niger basins to ensure that there is security, to ensure that they contain Boko Haram. And they know that he is fighting Boko Haram not only in Nigeria but also coordinating a global or regional response. That was why they came to show some solidarity. That yes, we are aware of the good things that Buhari is doing, not only in Nigeria but also in West Africa, to ensure peace and security. That was the solidarity they came to share. Is it not something that we should celebrate and say at least the neighbors, because Boko Haram they escape from Sambisa forest into those neighboring countries.
Yes.
If you are not at peace with your neighbors, will they not be hiding your enemies to come and attack you? That is it.
Okay, so that's good. I don't want us to get into complicated issues. It's campaign period. Today is the 1st of February, and in another 15 days, we'll be talking about the presidential election. Of course, we're going to be bringing it live to you. Stay tuned to Ben Television. It's going to be live and direct, giving you all the information. And of course, have you call in so we could talk about what is happening in our great nation. And I must speak to Mr. Charles about their campaign merchandise. Oh, okay, yeah, I turned it upside down. So this is it. It says, Buhari Diaspora Support Organization 2019. A whole lot of stuff's in here. They've got T-shirts. They've got this one, if I can open that quickly. So I think this is what key holder for your cards, pens. And you see the one on his chest? The electronic word going. Support President Muhammadu Buhari. Yeah, that's it. Support Muhammadu Buhari for 2019 elections. That's a lot of money on souvenirs, isn't it?
Yeah, these ones are all donations.
Okay.
Yeah, some people are creative and they've donated this. All we thrive on contributions. Buhari has not given us a dime. All he thrives on is contribution by the people that love him. Okay,
if I would say this, okay, that's a lovely picture. You standing.
That was in 2014.
Yes.
When I've told you we've been supporting him a long time ago. We are not in competition with any group. We are by ourselves. He knows us. We know him.
And that's it for
We've always stood by him. This was when he came in April. We were the first group in Nigeria and outside Nigeria for him to talk to when he declared. Immediately he declared, he came to London, and that was why he saw our group. Okay.
The other picture was with Madam Ifoma, and I know she worked with him in Nigeria for a couple of years.
That's me and Hadiza Balausman. She's the director of contact and mobilization of the campaign.
Okay.
Yes. She's aware we've given them campaign materials and all that, so we continue to support our president. That is me in 2014 with the wife of Her Excellency, wife of the Vice President, campaigning on the field.
This is good.
I've been there a long time campaigning.
Okay, and that's Chief Williams, I can remember, and
Bolaji,
Bolaji, yes, that's
yes,
Bolaji. And the guy, but okay, I can see.
Okay, that's me and the Director General of Voice of Nigeria, Osita.
Okay.
Yeah, we're talking about strategies. This is me.
Oh, yeah, with the minister, the very controversial, very popular minister.
And the Director General of the campaign. This is me and FCT minister when we went to launch the house-to-house, door-to-door campaign in Abuja.
Fantastic.
Yes,
okay.
he's told us that anytime we have an event, he will be there and support us. This
is good.
Yeah.
This is good. And if I must say this, from a little observation.
These are our members in JOS and all that. Yeah.
That's good. From my little observation, I must say that this government is kind of different in the sense that we didn't have money, you know, raining everywhere, just like we did in 2015. And some way or the other, none of those monies touched me. They didn't even cross me. I'm talking about 2015. And this time around, there's no money. It's campaign. Where's the money?
You see, that's it. You know why Dasuki is there, because they were sharing the money, sharing our national cake.
But now there was nothing. Another question I would like to quickly put to you.
Rather than share it, Buhari is using it to develop roads and infrastructure.
You're a patron. Just a minute. Uche wants us to round off, but Uche, 1 minute, please. You are the patron of Nollywood Producers Guild, the UK. Like during Jonathan's government, they were even premiering movies in Aso, but this time around, Nollywood stars don't even get close.
That's it. The national cake is for everybody, not for a privileged few.
I think we should talk about this next week, Thursday.
That's it. So all Nigerians must go to Nigeria, call Nigeria, phone President Buhari. If you truly love Nigeria, he's the only one that can lead us to greatness that we desire and deserve.
Okay,
God bless you.
Beautiful.
God bless the Federal
Republic of Nigeria. Thank you very much for watching.
Say Baba, say Buhari. 2019.
So
no problem.
We must say thank you very much for watching.
Thank
we're
you,
going to do
Rose.
this again next week. But as time permits us, we're going to keep doing this. Thank you. My name is Rose, and I've been talking to Mr. Charles, the global chairperson for the Buhari Diaspora Support Organization. Thank you very much. We'll do this again. Take care. Bye-bye.